Hello, this is Chodaros, and today's tutorial will be on this Williams bracelet. This was designed by Loom from Norway, and it is very similar to her Miguel bracelet, which you can find on my channel as well. And it is a hook-only plus loom design. So this one here was my first rendition. I made it with 6mm round glass pearl beads, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I went down 9 beads, and it is about half my wrist size. So this is the one that I will be making in the tutorial. The bracelet is based off of, which is my Samanji bracelet. It is actually the middle core of this bracelet. All of that right there. And then when we go to the loom, we're adding 4 single chains. So here you can see 2 black and 2 black, and these crisscross V-bands. So this one is out of all opaque, and it looks a little bit jiggly right now, but it's because it was just a play one to make to learn it. But the beads in the center are free flowing, and they stick up. So I wanted to see what it would look like if I put flat beads in the center, and then I use 8mm beads on the sides, all of which I do explain in the tutorial. So this one, I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 down, I believe. So this one almost fits my wrist, almost. I just have to put just a tiny little extension. So I do apologize, as when we do go to the loom, I do have you put your 4 single chains going the whole way up 2 looms. And we have to take some bands out, but it's very hard for me to say to stop at a certain pin because it's going to depend on your wrist size. So that can be a little bit tricky, but I think we'll be okay. So let's grab all of our supplies and get started. Okay, so I already have my center complete, and yes, these are butterfly charms and they are crooked, but I will fix that once it's on the loom. So as you can tell, this is pretty much the Samanji bracelet that I designed, with a few changes, I believe. I haven't made it since I created it, which was so many months ago. Okay, and it's stretchy, but I made mine, I believe, 14 beads long. I did 11 or so the first rendition, and it seemed when I was completed with the bracelet it was a bit short. So I'm going to show you a couple times how to make it, and then if you need help you can always rewind. So cap band, band on top, close it up, and then you want to add a second band. So you chain 2. Okay, so you want to grab your first bead, and I'm going to take a plain band, and we want to slide the first 3, 1, 2, 3. So the first 3 loops are your beaded band and one of the existing bands, and then we want to close it up. So either slide it down or take it off your hook and turn it, and we want to do the same thing on this side. Add your beaded band, and then take your plain band and then slide the first 3 loops. I knew that was going to happen. I don't care for double-sided hooks for that. The hook part is so small compared to the rainbow loom hook. Alright, so we want to take the first 3 and I'm using silicone bands and they're sticky. So there you can see the first 3 loops and then close it up. Okay, so that's what you should have. And now we want to take another band, trying to find it, and we want to take all 4 of these loops and put it on this new band. So you slide everything on top, close it up. Now we want to put a beaded band in the center of this. So what I'd like to do is take off the first band and then add the beaded band and then close it up, and it's already complete. So you should have a total of 4 loops on your hook and the bead's going to stick out. So then you just simply take another band and slide everything onto the new band, like that. And that's pretty much it. And my band got twisted there. Okay, so this bead does stick up like that, and so that's why I'm going to challenge myself and see if I can't do it with a flat bead. Okay, so your next step here is to repeat what we just did. So you add your side bead, like that. So you have 4 loops on your hook, and you want to take the first 3 like that, and then close it up. Turn it. So you can see now that this bracelet has a front and a back because this bead sticks up. So we are at the back now, and we want to add the other side. So you just put it on your hook, and then you take your band and you want to put the first 3 bands see, that's taking that other side, and then close it up like that. So what I prefer to do is slide it, turn it when I want to add my next center band or the bling band, so I'm always adding it to the front. So I wanted to show you, if you would like to add a charm or a one-sided bead, this is how you would do it. I didn't know that, I didn't realize when I picked this that when I put it on my hook it was going to be sideways. So I had to figure out a way. So you just thread your band through, and this has a top and a bottom, so it has to come out a certain way. So I just turn it over. I put the top band down first, and then I take the bottom band and put that on top of it. And you can either use your finger or your hook, but you want to take that band that's sitting in the center there up. Okay, so all you're doing is pretty much creating a slip knot, but it makes your bead straight and able to add. So now we have one more step to do. I'm sorry. We need to add a plain band with all 4 loops on top. And now we add our center. So with this, you do the same exact. So you want to take off the first loop, and then you just stick the one loop there and then close it up. So again, it's going to be wobbly because it's just dangling there for now. We're going to try to straighten that out when we loom it. And then you would, as normal, add a plain band with all your loops on top. Okay? So, you guys go ahead and finish yours up. And if, like I said, if you need more instruction, just please feel free to rewind it. And we'll meet back up when it's time to add it to the loom. Okay, so if you have done Loomer from Norway's Miguel bracelet, you will see that this is very similar. You have a 4-bar pin setup with 1 bar pin missing. So you set up 2, leave 1 out, and set up 2 more. Your first and last bar pins are at 1 height, go down 1 peg, and you have the 2 center ones. So I have already gone and done the next 2 steps because I am pretty confident that you guys can loom up a single chain. So the first thing you want to place is this band down here. So you want to place a band going from this peg to this peg. Okay? After you place that band, then your border bands go on next. And then after your border band there, you just loom up 2 single chains on the first pin bar and the last. After you're completed with that, you'll come back down and then loom up 2 more, or place 2 more single chains on the center pin bars. Okay? So now we just have 1 more loom for band placement, and then we'll add our center part. So for this step, we're going to be placing V's. Okay, so we want to take a band and place it going from there and then out like that. Then we want to do the same on this side. Like that. Super simple. We're going to do that every other peg. So if you're counting on the center pin bars, you're going to skip a peg and then create your second V going out. Like this. So you skip a peg and then out. So essentially your outer 2 pin bars will always have a band on each peg, and your inner pin bars will have one on every other. So we're just going to do that all the way up our loom. See, I did that one wrong already. Need to skip, and the point of your V, always make sure the point of the V is in the center. Okay, so go ahead and finish all of those steps up, and you're going to do this all the way down to the end of the loom, and we'll meet back because it will be time to place our center part of our bracelet. Okie dokie, so we have all of our bands placed, and now it is time to add our center part. So we want to come down where the cap band is, and I prefer to do this with the center band facing down. Okay, so you want to take your cap band You have both ends of your cap band, and you want to place one end on this center right pin and the other end on the center left, like that. So everywhere you see a V, so make sure your V's are pressed down. Everywhere you see a V, you're going to open up that beaded band and place both sides on the pointed part of your V band. Okay? So you just take your bead, the beaded band, open it up, and place it on top of that V band. So you want to make sure that your bling is kind of sitting in the center of that V, but if it's not, it's okay, because we're going to have to kind of hold on to it when we go to loom it. So this one has a stretch, and you have to stretch it up to your next V. Again, just opening it up and placing it on like that. So you want to make sure that your bands are pretty durable. So as long as you are matching up each beaded band with a V, you'll be set. And honestly, as long as you keep your bead in the majority of the back area, you'll be good. You don't have to have it in a special spot until we go to loop the bands. So I went ahead and placed my bands all the way to the end of the loom. It's going to depend on your wrist size, on how long you made this center part of the bracelet, as to where it's going to cut off. So I knew mine was going to be close to the end of the loom. So I have one more left here. So what I'm going to do is just take these bands off. I know that's not like super professional. I probably should have known this before, but it really only takes 5 seconds. Oops, that one I want to keep, to take these bands off. So I'm just popping these off the loom, and mine come down. I'm going to take that one off and then put this one back on. Okay, so I'm going to add my last section like that. And so I know that mine comes to right here. So I just need to take this band that I have placed going forward and just slide it over to the left. Oh, I'm sorry. This needs to come off first. So your border band goes down, and then your center single chain. And then do the same thing over here. Just going to lift that one up and lift this one up. So place my border, and then my zigzag, and then the single chain in the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 from the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 from the outer. I apologize if that's terrible that I didn't say anything first, but everybody's is going to be different because of your wrist size, so I didn't feel comfortable saying, you know, make sure you go up so many pegs. Okay, so then you're going to take and add your, like I didn't put a C-clip here, so I just did a slip knot. So I want to take out my slip knot, and then I have my last band here, and I just want to take, like we did our cap band, and you want to place each side of that band on those center 2 pegs. So I can flip it now, maybe it'd be easier to show you. So you place it on like that. Alright, so that's what your loom should look like. So again, all of your side beads should be on the V bands, and all of my charms are hanging down because I chose to have them under. And so now we can grab our hook and start looming. So the first thing that we want to loom up is the last thing that we placed, which are the V bands. Okay, so you want to go into this center, you want to go into your first V. Let's start on this side. So I want to push my bead over behind the peg a little bit. So I want to go in the cap band and grab the band on top, and I want to take this and place it back to itself on this peg here. But when I did that, I made sure that this beaded band was out of the way. Okay, you don't want that bead in the center of this band. So now I want to push my bead over this way towards the band that we just looped, and then go in there and grab the next band, making sure it's not with the bead in the center, and loom it to itself. So in essence, what you want is you want that bead to be sitting right in between these 2 bands that we just looped. Okay? So I'll do it from this angle this time. So I want my beaded band, I'm going to put it towards the back of the peg, go in here, grab the top band, and I want to make sure I bring it back to itself without that bead in it. Then I have to bring this beaded band over. So when I slide it over like that, it's out of the way of the next band that needs to be looped. I hate to put my hand in the way. I don't even have to really hold the bead, and I forgot my loom hook. So I want to grab the top band, put it back to itself, and then that puts the bead right there in the center, so nothing is looped in it. Okay, so again, I'm going to push that one back, hold it down because it is the cap band. So just like any other cap band, you want to hold it down, grab the top band, loom it over, and then if you want or if you need to, slide your band again, and then loom out this side. Okay? I mean, it's really not difficult as long as it just makes sense. Alright, so for this one, push it over. Push it back, and then push it over. It's already over enough, but I think that's a thick, yeah. And bring that one back to itself. And then the bead is in the center. Grab this band, just making sure that that bead is in the center, and put it back. Do one more. Like that. Okay, so again, what we placed on top of our V bands is our cap band with the bead on it, making sure that that bead falls in between your two teardrops. Okay, so let's go ahead and loom those all the way up to the end, and then we'll come back for our next step. All right, now that we have all of those the side beads placed on our V-bands, and making sure that our bead is in the center of that V and not inside one of the teardrops, is what you should have. And it is super basic on how to close this up. So you can go ahead and finish it, or you can stay with me. But basically, we're going to start and we're going to loom up both of these center chains straight up, and then we are going to loom up our border bands. So, simple enough. We have that last band that we used for the center part as the cap band, so you just have that one band to go through, grab the band on top, and just loom it forward. And so this is the only band on this pin bar. So you're grabbing the last band, and there shouldn't be any more bands on there. And the reason I'm saying that is because if there should happen to be any band left on these two center pin bars, then something is wrong and you'll need to go back and fix it, because if you take it off, your bracelet will fall apart. Okay, I'm going to stop there and come back down to this other center peg and do the same, which is drop my band. So I want this band to be on top, so I need to just grab it and place it on that center peg. Again, every band that you grab on this center pin bar there should be one left, and it should be this one to loom up. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled with looming with a crochet hook, but as I mentioned, I forgot my rainbow loom hook. Okay, so we could just stop here and I could say go ahead and finish this up and we'll meet back, but there really is no point to do that, because I can just show you the next step right now, and then we will be finished. So again, we want to go back into this center left peg, and we still have this top band on top. Go underneath and grab that border band, which goes out to the left. And do the same thing on this side. You're just going underneath one band, grabbing the bottom border band, and taking it out to the right. And then you want to go in, and this should be the bottom band, because it is the border, and the border is always to be the conclusion of the bracelet, which is looming it all in one piece. So we're just taking that all the way up. And technically, this is the only band left on the whole loom, besides the other border, that is left to loom. I'm going to do one more. Okay, so then you just want to come back down and follow the same path, going in, alright, I gotta do it from the front, I can't help it. I try to go from the side so you guys can see, but if I can't see, what's the point? It's because that one's down so far, it's like be underneath the pin. Again, if for some reason that you are not grabbing the last band on this peg, something's wrong, and it's best to stop and fix it now before you get too far and you go to pull your bracelet off and it falls apart. Okay, so let's finish up. Oh, I guess I'll just go ahead and finish up with you. So again, we're looming our center chain first, so I needed to finish that. And that goes all the way up to this last pin, and then I can come back down and finish my border. And so this border band should come out and diagonally go to this peg here. Okay? And then we come to this side. I need to finish up my center chain. Last one goes to the last peg, and then finally let's finish up this side of the border. Make sure that your bands are pressed down. Okay, and then the last one goes diagonally up to the last center pin. So there we have it. Turn it to its side, and if you see any bands, if it's clean all the way you can see through, you know you got every band. So for here at the end, remember we placed this one band here, and that's for close up. So you want to go into one of the center bands, alright, I can't see. Well, my hook's turned around, that's why. Okay, I got that bottom band. It's going to be tight because we have a 3 peg stretched. Okay, and then carefully go into this center band and grab the other end of it. Carefully take it out like that. And this is where you would add your C-clip. Now I am simply going to, I don't have my C-clip on me, but even if I did, I want to add another band because to me it's a very tight. So I want to alleviate some of that tension and just place a band in between like that, and that makes it a little bit better. And then until I get my C-clip, I'm just going to add another one and then just slip knot it. And not with that type of band. Oh gosh. Okay, let me get a band that's not going to break. Okay, I got a good slip knot, and now I want to take off all my outer pegs. Okay, I think you guys would be good to go ahead and take it off the loom. So I definitely want to take these last 2 pegs off because they're pretty tight. And then on this side again, I want to take off. Let me turn it around, I'm sorry. So we can take off these 2 bands here, and then just take off all your outsides. If I'm not mistaken, we can actually pull it off the loom instead of having to do every single one like this, as long as we have the outside off. And around on this side. My apologies, I know I can edit this out, but at the time of this filming, it is actually 5:30 in the morning on Easter Sunday, and the Easter Bunny is quite tired and just wanted to get this out so I could enjoy my Easter with my family. So if we start up here, and we can kind of take off another 2 pins to get some leverage to hold on to. You want to take this and you want to pull it back, back, and up. So back, and then up, and then wiggle, wiggle. I never do this, but this is a loose design in the center, so I don't feel it's going to break, so I don't mind doing it. There we go. So this is the back of the loom of the bracelet, because we don't have any center beads. So I'm just going to go ahead and fix up this border, which I'll have to do more, but just kind of stretching it out because the beads on the sides should be visible on both the front and the back. So because I use the brown sweets, they're going to be all twisted, and I'll have to go in and untwist them and whatnot. Alright, so ta-da! Let's look at the front part. I know, my butterflies look crappy, but we're gonna fix that. So if you didn't use butterflies, your bling should be the same, and it would be just sticking up in a row all the way down. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my charm, and I'm gonna open this up right here. I'm gonna stick my charm back there and wrap it around again. Alright, so I was able to straighten out all of my butterflies. So what in this one down here is just a little funny, but what I did was each one of these has the hole from the center part of our bracelet. So I just took the butterfly charm and pushed it through that hole and wrapped it around again, and that way it tightened it up. So I took the challenge, and I'm glad I did, as they do stay on the bracelet nice and straight, and if you prefer the flat look, they give a flat appearance as opposed to the beads standing up. But if you prefer the bead standing up, I do like this one as well, but at least you have options. So again, this is the William bracelet designed by Loomer from Norway. Please make sure that you give her a huge shout out on Instagram, let her know how great her designs are, and thank her for sharing with us, and hashtag your renditions, as I'm always super excited to see what kind of bling and band combos everyone comes up with. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.